Well, amid the massive ongoing face-off between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Enforcement Directorate, fresh raids have been conducted by the probe agency across multiple locations in New Delhi today. The raids relate to the Enforcement Directorate's Delhi Jal Board corruption case. A contract worth 38 crore rupees was allegedly given to an ineligible firm. Forged documents were used to win the contract, and the Delhi Jal Board chief engineer knew of this. The contract was then allegedly subcontracted, and the subcontractor allegedly bribed the Delhi Jal Board ex-chief engineer. Today's raids are on Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's personal secretary, Kumar Vibhav, Aam Aadmi Party Rajya Sabha MP ND Gupta, as well as a Delhi Jal Board staffer. My colleague Bhavtosh as well as Rishabh joining us on the broadcast with the details. Rishabh, raids taking place. This is at a time when the Aam Aadmi Party had already been saying that they are going to hold an expose against the Enforcement Directorate. Just minutes before that, the Enforcement Directorate raids taking place in multiple locations across Delhi.
Well, definitely at 12 locations we are given to understand the ED raids are happening right now at Arvind Kejriwal's personal assistant Vibhav Kumar's residence, and here at ND Gupta, who is Rajya Sabha MP and treasurer of Aam Aadmi Party. The raids are ongoing since morning 7 a.m. The raids are happening. These raids are in connection to the financial irregularities and money laundering case related to Delhi Jal Board, as you were mentioning. Since 7 a.m. in the morning, the ED team is here. There are paramilitary forces also here to ensure that no law and order situation happens, and you can see right now all the gates have been closed of the premises of the personal residence. This is, remember, not the official residence but the personal residence of ND Gupta in Gulmohar Park in South Delhi. Right now the raids are ongoing. This is one of the 12 premises that have been raided by ED since morning. Remember, this happens hours before the expected press conference by Atishi, the minister in Delhi government and senior Aam Aadmi Party leader, who yesterday posted on her social media platform X that she'll come up with a big exposure on Enforcement Directorate. It was supposed to start at 10. At 7 in the morning, the raids began at ND Gupta's residence. Aam Aadmi Party, on the other hand, is defiant. They say that we are not going to get afraid of what Enforcement Directorate is doing, and they came up with a lot of details on Enforcement Directorate as well at the press conference, which has just concluded from Atishi's residence. But definitely the war between Aam Aadmi Party and Enforcement Directorate continues. Another raid, another day here in National Capital.
Okay, all right. Bhavtosh is also live with us. Bhavtosh, take us through the details of the case because the Aam Aadmi Party had been saying that the Enforcement Directorate is targeting us. That's the claim that had been made by the Aam Aadmi Party. So, Rishabh, coming back to you with those details, those who are being raided are said to be extremely closely associated to the Delhi Chief Minister, including his PA Kumar Vibhav.
Well, as far as the case of the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, it stems from the CBI FIR that was filed during the course of investigation. Basically, the case revolves around the fact that Jal Board had given a contract to a company called NKG Infrastructure, and it was given at a cost of around 38 crore rupees. Now, NKG Infrastructure was given the contract despite the fact that forged and fake documents were submitted. The person who gave the contract is former chief engineer of Jal Board, and he knew the fact that forged documents were submitted by them. So once these documents were submitted and the contract was given to NKG Infrastructure, who then sublet the contract to another company, Pratibha, called SITC, which in fact submitted electronic flow meter. Jal Board, in fact, was making a change in their flow meter from the manual flow meter to electronic flow meter, and the contract was actually given to NKG Infrastructure. Now, according to the Enforcement Directorate, which took over the investigation, a subcontractor who in fact was arrested by the agency called Anil Kumar Agarwal. He transferred a bribe of around 3 crore rupees to Jagdish Kumar. This was done both in his bank account as well as in cash. Now, both of them were arrested last week by the agency, and their custodial remand was taken by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, ED claims that the entire money, which was around 3 crore rupees, did not go to Jagdish Kumar Arora, but in fact it went to other individuals. Now, in that connection, these raids and searches are being carried out. ED, in fact, had taken the custodial remand, and once this custodial remand, in fact, got over, these searches followed. As Rishabh, our colleague, is also saying that politics obviously will be played over this, because since yesterday, ED had the Aam Aadmi Party had already said that they will expose the extortion racket that alleged extortion racket that ED is carrying out, and they had held that press conference, and just hours before that press conference, these raids and searches are being carried out at a very close associate of Arvind Kejriwal, who has been associated with him for over 2 decades, and also at the residence of Rajya Sabha member of Parliament, N.D. Gupta.
All right, Bhavtosh and Rishabh, request you to stay on with us. Let's get our viewers up to speed with what this Delhi Jal Board corruption case is all about. The details of it on your screens. The Delhi Jal Board had allegedly given a 38 crore contract to NKG Infra, and NKG was ineligible. The documents pertaining to it were also forged, and the Delhi Jal Board was well aware of it. It knew that it's an eligible company, and despite that, the contract was given to them. In fact, NKG Infra then subcontracted Integral screws, and that was done as well, with the Integral being paid 3 crore rupees to Delhi Jal Board chief engineer, who was well aware with what was happening, and he has also been raided today. In fact, the Delhi Jal Board engineer's family and aides were also bribed. That is the charge as per the Enforcement Directorate investigation. So these are the details that have been mentioned in the FIR. So, Rishabh, the details of the case are here, and this brings a number of Aam Aadmi Party linked leaders being raided by the Enforcement Directorate, under the radar of the Enforcement Directorate up. The Enforcement Directorate has already tightened the noose. In fact, just tomorrow, the case against Arvind Kejriwal is also going to come up in the court.
Well, definitely, Liquor Gate, Delhi Jal Board, the Mohalla clinics, all these cases, be it Enforcement Directorate, be it Anti-Corruption Bureau, or be it CBI, the noose is tightening around the neck of Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi and National Convener of Aam Aadmi Party. Tomorrow, as you are mentioning, yes, there is a case where Enforcement Directorate has now approached the court saying that Arvind Kejriwal is not cooperating. A non-compliance case has been filed against the Delhi Chief Minister to showcase that how he has missed the 5 summons, last one being on 2nd of February. He has given all sort of excuses for not appearing in front of the Enforcement Directorate. First, he said that he has a pre-planned visit to Madhya Pradesh for Vidhan Sabha elections. Then he was supposed to be in Vipassana for 10 days. Then he had a program in Goa. Last time around on 2nd, he was in Delhi. He was out on street protesting against Bharatiya Janata Party on Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg, but he did not go to Enforcement Directorate. That's when the enforcement agency decided to approach the court, saying that there is a non-compliance from Arvind Kejriwal, who has been in turn calling all these summons illegal, malified, politically motivated, but not going to Enforcement Directorate. Even Congress at times has now started questioning that someone of Arvind Kejriwal's sort, who has been talking about anti-corruption movement, should have appeared in front of Enforcement Directorate as well. And now this is another case where a JCB money laundering case has come up, and as you mentioned, the whole case, there are 12 premises where the raids are happening. One, the most important, being N.D. Gupta's residence here in Gulmohar Park. Remember, N.D. Gupta happens to be the treasurer of Aam Aadmi Party and member of Parliament in Rajya Sabha from New Delhi. The raids are on 7 a.m. in the morning. It's been almost 3.5 hours, quarter to 4 hours. The raids are ongoing. And now, amid these raids, Atishi held a press conference calling it an expose on Enforcement Directorate, where she looked defiant, saying that come what may, Aam Aadmi Party will not be afraid. So this shows that the war is only intensifying between the enforcement agencies and Aam Aadmi Party as the raids continue day after day.
Okay.